What we do here at KUHMUTE is we provide charging infrastructure, but maybe not the typical kind that you might think of maybe the Tesla supercharger or the ChargePoint or GreenSpot or EVgo. We target things a little bit smaller than normal charging infrastructure or networks or just chargers in general. We target micromobility, and we pride ourselves on being multimodal. So the one hub to rule them all. It works not only with e-scooters and any type of and model of e-scooter, but also e-bikes, e-skateboards, autonomous delivery robots. The great thing about what we do and how flexible our platform is, it works across all these different modes of transportation. This strategic way that we've gone about it, it really helps us to place ourselves within this niche, to really be part of smart cities and with their initiatives to be kind of on the bleeding edge of sustainable last and first mile transportation and logistics. I mean, having the transportation of, like I mentioned, e-scooters, e-bikes, whatever have you, but then also coupled with the autonomous delivery robots in the same hub, it gives us that wide stance, but still narrow and niche on the first and last mile with micromobility. When developing something like this, we always have to put into perspective. Sure, our customer isn't the rider, but we had to focus on creating the best experience possible for our end user, which is the rider of these vehicles. And the way we've done it with our API that's available for fleet management systems to integrate is you still only scan the QR code on top of the scooter. So user education is zero because they already do that. And through scanning that QR code, it not only unlocks the scooter, but it unlocks the hub as well. So there's no extra steps needed for the end user to use our hub. For them, it's kind of the pinnacle of, like I said, a user experience because it's only one step. And as we know, if it's anything more than one step, it's not a good user experience. It needs to be easy, seamless, happening behind the scenes. That's kind of what we've brought to the table. Some of our competitors are focusing on different things. Maybe it's advertising, maybe it's something entirely different. From what we know, our customers want, like I said, locking, charging. So our goal is to be the best at those two things because we feel, it's in our wheelhouse to solve. We know as a company we can't do everything because companies that try to do everything right away most often fail. And the way we plan to sort of grow into our own within this space of micromobility is partnering with others that have found their niche and are the best at those different specific pieces of the industry. So we partner with ride shares that already know how to run a greatly optimized fleet, know where to go, where to place the vehicles to get maximum rides. That's something that they do best. We also partner with fleet management systems, so different software providers that provide maybe a third-party app for you to download and use different scooters that are just white labeled for the different rideshare operators. And then we also partner with vehicle OEMs and manufacturers that provide kind of the leading up-and-coming standards for durable shared vehicles. Partnering with all these different aspects and the different legs of the stool of micromobility, we're able to help more people by focusing on our niche and partnering with others that have expertise in different areas.
What we did here is we purchased a small fleet of 40 Acton scooters in order to really understand what the vehicle or the rideshare operator, what all their pain points would be. We really couldn't do that unless we were the operator ourselves for a little bit of time. We also really wanted to use Flint, Michigan as like a great test city to show that this form of urban mobility could work in a city landscape like this. So we went ahead, we bought 40 Acton M Pros, and we just threw them outside, we tested it out, and we figured out that we really don't like rebalancing scooters. And we tried to figure out how to get as many hubs out there as we could in order to really cut down on the amount of operations.
So there's a lot of things that I didn't realize going into it, what really goes into running a shared fleet. After installing some hubs out in Flint, you see the time that you put into that fleet personally gets stripped back a ton. Now you have charging handled by the charging hub. Parking, keeping the vehicle locked in the hub is keeping them from, straying outside your geofence or some random stranger walking off with your scooter. So we saw that the implementation and the addition of charging infrastructure being a huge benefit in providing clarity to what at the time were just assumptions by us. Now we can check that off and say, okay, this assumption turns out to be true, and we actually do solve a problem. And I firsthand, both Scott and myself, saw improvements in just on how the rideshare functioned on just the daily rotation. So we definitely, it's really gratifying to see that something that you've built from the ground up and from nothing solves a problem and allows a rideshare to operate more efficiently. Right now we're installed in Flint, Michigan and Jersey City, New Jersey with one of our rideshare partners. Over the next few months, we have plans to rolling out with more rideshare partners all over the nation, and we even have a lot of different interests overseas in Belgium, Iceland, the UK. There's a handful of others that we feel we can add value to their fleet and their cities and municipalities and communities. But for right now, we're really laser focused on providing the service here, understanding and learning a lot more before we go overseas and understand those next hurdles. For the next few months, we have plans to roll out about 400 hubs nationally in Florida, Iowa, more in New Jersey and New York, on the west side of the state here in Michigan, more here in Flint and Detroit. So there's a lot of really great people we're working with. We're very excited and fortunate and blessed to be working with these people and providing, like I said, value to their fleets and their businesses, but more importantly, adding value to their communities. Our whole goal is to really, clean up all of the vehicles in a way that, enables communities and people to have more accessible transportation.
Hey guys, my name is Tan Ren En. I'm an electrical engineering student, and I designed this calculator circuit right here that adds two numbers together. So it is composed of 7-segment displays, resistors, a bunch of integrated circuits, and some LEDs. You can see the architecture for this circuit right here on the right side of the PCB, and the LEDs on the architecture diagram lights up correspondingly. This is a cool circuit that people can practice soldering and learning about digital design. It is available on Kickstarter for you guys to buy. So if this project is successfully funded, backers will get a PCB, a bunch of electronic components like that. So the 7-segment display ICs, and some more components like buttons, batteries, and some LEDs and resistors. So basically everything will come shipped as a kit. I hope you guys like this hobby project. If you do, please consider backing it and wait for this fun puzzle to arrive at your home.